this video, we're going to look at how to treat seasonal data using a multiple regression, where we're going to make what are called dummy variables for the different seasons. In this case, we're going to deal with quarterly data in this video. I'll also make another video and showing you how to deal with monthly data. Here's our data set. This is the total number of houses sold in the United States per quarter from 2015 onward. So here it is, highly seasonal. We have this pattern that repeats every year, spikes here in the summer, dips way down in the winter. Okay, so beautiful seasonal data that I actually grabbed off Redfin. Okay, these are all real numbers. I am actually surprised how incredibly seasonal house sales are. And again, this is a total number of houses sold. Now, to be able to do any forecasting here with the multiple regression, what we're going to do is we're going to, again, make these dummy variables for each quarter. And what are those? Well, I do an if call here, or an if statement. So I do an if, and I go look here. If this quarter number is a 1, then put in a 1, otherwise put a 0. So for the quarter 1 dummy variable, any time that this number is going to be a 1, then I return a 1. Otherwise, I return a 0. Copy that the whole way down, and it'll just create 1s for quarter 1s. Do the same thing for quarter 2. So do another if call. If this B2 is 2, then do a 1, otherwise do a 0. I only want 1s in the quarter 2 variable for quarter 2. So here we are. Just have a look after 2. Make sure that your if call is doing what you hoped it would. And then if B2 is equal to 3 for quarter 3, then do a 1, otherwise a 0. So this is how you make your dummy variables. And then next one, if if this quarter equals to a 4 for the quarter 4 variable, then put a 1, otherwise put a 0. So this is how you make the quarterly dummy variables. Okay. So again, for every quarter, you test, is your value here for the quarter equal to that quarter number? Okay. What we also add in is this coded time that I start here. Let's start it actually at 0. It doesn't matter whether you start at 0 or 1, truly. For consistency, I'm always just going to start at 0. Okay. I'm going to feed that into the regression as well. So I now have all of my x variables, and I have my number sold, which I'm going to call my y. Now I'm going to do something a little bit funny. I'm going to cut out my first quarter, paste it over here, just trim this down. Good. So I am going to just feed in quarters 2 through 4 and then my coded time. What's very important is that you exclude one of the 4 categories here. Very, very important. When dealing with what are called dummy variables, you need to exclude one of them. The reason is you don't like to, or it's not a good idea to feed in redundant information into regression. Note, if your data value is not in quarters 2, 3, or 4, it must be in quarter 1. So we actually don't need quarter 1 right here. If your data value, let's say for example, is in quarter 2 as well, then we know it's not in quarter 1. I also know inherently for my other 3 categories what this quarter 1 value will be, so I don't need it. It's redundant. Okay, so let's go and try to do our regression now. So the regression is found under the Data tab and Data Analysis. And actually, this is perfect here. Let me show you in this first video how to add in the Analysis Toolpak if it's not there. Okay, so how to do that? Go to File and go to Options and Add-ins. Again, this is for Windows. For Mac too, just go search up how to do this. It comes standard. And then Excel Add-ins, click Go. And then make sure the Analysis Toolpak is checked off. Click OK. And it will now show up under the Data tab. Okay, little note here. For some reason, my Data Analysis Toolpak went away. That is very rare. I haven't seen that happen before. So I just saved my file and reopened Excel. And here it is again under the Data tab. So there we go. So click on that. And also note, make sure all of your X variables are grouped together. You need that for it to work. And your Y is, it could be anywhere else, but the X's all need to be beside each other. And once you're in the Data Analysis Toolpak, scroll down to Regression, click OK. And your Y is going to be your actual number sold. Your X's are going to be the coded time period and these quarters. Again, include 3 out of the 4 of them. Check off labels if you highlighted these top labels, which I recommend that you do, and the output range. So we could put it in the same sheet, or we could make a new worksheet. I'll make a new worksheet here. So this is going to be our, I'm just going to call that my regression output. And include your residuals, that's perfect for now. Ideally, you want to start analyzing your residuals as well. If you keep going with regression, you will. For now, I'm just going to output my residuals as well. So again, labels, residuals, I'm going to put it in a new worksheet and click OK. And here we go. So here's my regression output. This one right here. R squared's looking pretty good. Adjusted R squared as well. Again, we talk about that a lot more later. Okay, and now let me go grab these numbers, these guys right here. So at the bottom of the regression output, there's this coefficient column right here. I'm going to go grab those, control copy those, pop them in to my regression here. I'm just going to put them right here. Perfect. And then this will help me get my forecasts. I also have, let me just move that over one. Okay, let me also grab something else that the regression outputted for me, which I really like. It gave me my predicted number sold and my residuals. So let's talk more about those. So I'm going to go copy those. So those were at the bottom of the regression output. At the bottom here, I'm going to copy them. And I'm going to paste them in right here. Okay. So my predicted is actually just my forecasts. And my residuals are actually just my errors. So these are just my forecasts and my errors, just like I get with any other method. Perfect. And these are actually my coefficients that help make up my regression formula. Okay, so here's my formula. This intercept is going to be my B0. Coded time is going to be this coefficient right here is going to be my B1. This is my coefficient for quarter 2, the B2. So this guy right here is going to be B2, B3 for this guy, and B4. So these coefficients right here, which again I got off of my regression output right here, these coefficients are going to help make my regression equation. So my forecasted sales now becomes this equation right here when I sub in each of these coefficients for the B0 through B4. So this is my forecasting equation, and that actually helps get these forecasts right here, these guys. Okay. Now my errors also are like my residuals. Those help me get what's called my RMSE. So RMSE, let's just fix that. Okay, so now I can get my RMSE by doing the square root of the sum squared of my errors. So even though they're called the residuals, they're still the same thing, so do the same formula and then divide by the count of your errors, or of my errors here. Beautiful, and I get 18,350 for my RMSE. Once I've got that, that means I'm now able to compare the two different ways to do the forecasting for this data set. So previously, in a previous video, I looked at doing the whole winters on this data set instead. And my RMSE was 29,022. Now doing regression, my RMSE is down to 18,000. So the regression is better on this data set. It does a better job of forecasting here. Okay.